The World Health Organization has just approved the world's first malaria vaccine. Guys, this news is huge. And it's literally 30 plus years in the making. That's right. That's how long it has taken to develop and produce this malaria vaccine. 30 years, if not longer. Guys, and malaria is such a big deal. While we only have 2,000 or so cases of malaria in the United States, malaria impacts so many. We know in the year 2019 alone, over 400,000 people died of malaria throughout the world. And 2/3 of these were kids in Africa under the age of 5. And let me just sort of drive that point home even more. 260,000 African kids under the age of 5 die of malaria every single year. When I tell you this is a big deal, I can't even tell you how big of a deal this is. This is amazing. This is wonderful. And if you've never really thought about malaria because maybe it doesn't affect you, you don't live on the continent of Africa or other, I want you to know that it does affect you. A disease state that affects some of us ultimately affects all of us in some way. And if you never knew how devastating malaria is and can be, hopefully this video will help, and also to help you understand how significant this malaria vaccine is. So a couple of things about malaria. Malaria is spread by mosquitoes, and it's a parasitic disease. That means it's a parasite that transmits the disease via the bite of mosquitoes. It's one of the things that has actually sort of made this the development of this vaccine relatively difficult because, you know, it's our first vaccine for a parasitic disease. We have vaccines against viruses, vaccines against bacteria, things like that. But apparently this is our first vaccine against a parasitic disease, which is it's just a big deal. There's just a lot of firsts here. Some more information though about malaria. Malaria basically is a disease where people get fevers, super high, like serious fevers, chills, like shaking chills, flu-like symptoms, flu-like illnesses. And if malaria is not treated, complications and even death can develop. Some types of malaria actually can recur, which means that people can get some types of malaria over and over again, which could ultimately damage the immune system. As a family doctor who practices in the United States, I've seen a couple of cases of malaria in people who were traveling came back to the States or coming to the States from Africa. Maybe 1 or 2 cases in my entire career who presented to the office. I'm often giving my patients malaria prophylaxis before they travel. So that's something that I play a role in. But once again, you know, we don't see a lot of malaria in the United States, about 2,000 or so cases per year, where once again, I mentioned that 260,000 children, African children, die every year. These are children under the age of 5 from malaria. So it is very, very prevalent in sub-Saharan Africa and in other places. So, you know, again, flu-like illness, fevers, chills, it can cause complications if it's not treated, and ultimately death as well. This malaria vaccine is produced by GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, and this particular vaccine acts against the most deadly parasite globally and the most prevalent in Africa. One of the awesome things about this vaccine is that it was a vaccine, according to the World Health Organization, this is a vaccine that was developed in Africa, which is awesome, and that there was strong engagement with African scientists. So it sounds like, you know, those who live in Africa were intimately involved in the development to some degree of this vaccine, and I love to hear that. We know that there have already been over 800,000 children vaccinated with this malaria vaccine as part of a pilot program. We know that the vaccine has proven to be safe. Guys, you know, I'm just reading my notes. This is just a lot of really good stuff. I mean, I'm so excited, and you know, it's so wonderful to hear some really good news and to hear about a vaccine for malaria, which has been in the works for so long, and that affects so many hundreds of thousands of people every single year in Africa in particular. It's so great to see this vaccine come to fruition. It really is a wonderful moment. This is a vaccine that would be given over 4 doses. 4 doses of the vaccine would be given starting at the age of 5 months old. Again, I'm just really excited. And it's just a prideful moment, even though I don't live in Africa and I don't practice in Africa. This makes me feel so good, and I'm so, so happy. For those of you who live on the continent of Africa, I'd love to know what you think. I want to know how you feel. I want to know, what the thoughts are on the ground. Let me know which country you are from in Africa, on the African continent. Let me know what you think. One thing I should say is that one of the main sort of sources of prevention right now are bed nets that have been treated so that people are sleeping under bed nets so that they're less likely to become infected with these mosquitoes, bitten by these mosquitoes. Once again, those preventative measures and every other preventative measure we have for malaria is likely not going to go anywhere, but to have a vaccine, man, oh man, is a pretty awesome thing. So yes, if you live on the continent of Africa, please tell me what you think. If you live in the United States or anywhere else in the world, let me know what you think, because once again, as I've always said, something that affects some of us in the world essentially affects us all, because we are all connected. So the World Health Organization has recommended this vaccine for broad scale use in African children. Guys, once again, super excited. This is a prideful, wonderful, wonderful moment. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. If you have not subscribed to my channel and clicked the little bell for updates, I invite you to do so. Guys, I'll see you soon.